big reader and I love nothing more than discussing my favourite books with my friends, so I thought it would be fun to have a little chat about the books I read in October. So I read 4 books last month, starting with Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. So that's the second book in the Knock 'Em Out series. I loved the first book in the series, so I have no idea why it took me so long to move on to the second book. This book is about a police officer who gets injured in his line of work and then starts to have a bit of an identity crisis about how can he look after other people when he can't look after himself. He finds himself living next door to his brother's best friend, who is a private investigator, and she's really fiery and independent, so they clash because he likes looking after people and she hates feeling like someone wants to look after her. She kind of helps him find his spice for life again, and it's super cute. It's nice to have a book where the main male character is the more vulnerable person in the romance, because that doesn't happen very often. I gave this book a 3 out of 5 stars. I liked it, but not as much as the first book in the series. Next up was the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which I seen pop up all over my TikTok. You couldn't get away from it. I read The Pumpkin Spice Cafe last year, and I did enjoy that. I think if you like Hallmark movies in book form, then you'll like this series. So this one is about a woman who is about to turn 30, and she's having a bit of a panic, thinking she's not achieved as much as she thought she would by the time she reached that milestone. She runs a bookstore, and someone is leaving clues in the books in her store, so like writing little notes in the pages, which kind of feels like they're leading her on a treasure hunt of sorts. So with her feeling like, right, I need to start making the most of my life, she decides to follow these quests, and she enlists the help of the local tour guide, fisherman. I can't really remember what his job title is, to be honest, but yeah, he helps her to complete all these tasks. He is known for being a bit of a ladies' man, having one-night stands with the tourists, whereas she is a relationship kind of girl, but she knows what he is like, so she goes into this thinking it's just going to be a bit of fun. But if you like the he falls first trope, then I think you'd like this. While I was reading the book, I was thinking, I just want to get through this and get onto something I actually want to read. But looking back on it, it was quite a fun read. At the time, I only gave this 2 out of 5. I'd maybe give it 2.5 out of 5 in hindsight. It is by no means my favourite book, but it was fun. The third book that I read this month was Bride by Ali Hazelwood, which I actually just ordered the physical copy of, so let me go and get that so I can put it on my shelf. Really annoyingly, I ordered this from Amazon and it's got like paper all stuck to the top with glue, which is really annoying. The book isn't damaged though, I can still read it, but I mean, I've already read it on my Kindle. So this was my third book of the month, and it is set in a world where there's kind of 3 territories, shall I say. So you've got the vampires, the werewolves and the humans. The humans are kind of the neutral ground because the vampires and the werewolves hate each other. To keep the peace, they all have, I can't remember the word they used in the book, but basically a tribute where they will send a member of their species to live within the other territories as an offering of peace. So if the vampire pisses off the werewolf, but the werewolf has a vampire, I mean, it's pretty simple what's going to happen in that situation. Misery, the main character, her family are the most powerful vampires and they kind of lead that territory. Her dad offers her as a bride to the new alpha werewolf as a sign of peace because he's worried that the humans are becoming too powerful. So Misery then has to go and marry Lo, who is the new alpha in the werewolf territory, and while they're adapting to living together but obviously not being in a relationship, there's some side plots going on. So it's not all romance based, this book, but when the romance does get going, it's so good. I would recommend this book to anyone. It's all I've been talking about all month. I don't have much more to say other than wow, I really loved this book. I've not been drawn to any other Ali Hazelwood books, but I think I need to reconsider because I did really love this. I've also never read a supernatural romance, but I think I need to give that a go because I loved the vampire werewolf element of this. My last read of the month was Love in Other Words, which was Steph's Patreon book of the month. I've never read along in a Patreon book club before, but it was really fun to get other people's opinions while you were going, and I would say I probably had some different opinions to other people. So this book is about Macy and Elliot, who are childhood best friends that bonded over their love of books. In the present, Macy is engaged to a man who is a safe bet. She likes the life she has with him, but she's not in love with this man. She's super happy until Elliot pops into her life. She starts feeling really conflicted. This book flips between the past and the present, which to be honest I don't really love because I feel like you get really into a chapter, you want to know what happens next, and then we're back to the past and it gets a bit frustrating. I'd only heard amazing things about this book, so I'm a bit gutted to say I didn't have that same love for the book. The ending I found super unforgivable, which people were very conflicted on in the group chat I was reading this in. So if you've read this, please let me know what you think of the ending because I just couldn't get past it really. As I said, my favourite thing to do is talk about the books I love with other people. I'd love to do an end of year wrap up, so if anyone will be interested in that, please do let me know. I've currently read 37 books this year, so we've got a lot of things to discuss. If you've made it this far, then thank you so much for listening to me ramble for however long, and hopefully I'll see you in my next video. Bye!